All right, hello, hello. Sorry there, we let the counter go down to 0 and then Kip decided to pull the microphone out. I was scrambling under the desk trying to get it. Today is mom's first day of chemo, so Melissa's actually with her, and I have Kipster, and actually Jen is homesick. Um, she woke up and it's like, my belly hurts, and she was warm. So, yeah, it's one of those days. So I'm pulling like triple duty here with some streaming, some two kids, but that's all good. Um, all right, sound is good. Thank you, sir. Neuro, I checked. I was looking. I was like, man, I was like, "It was yesterday's third. Was today's third? What's going on here?" Um, Today's definitely for the third neuro, but I was trying to add it up, and I was like, man, it's been so long. You've been like on such a streak now. Um, yeah, she's in good spirits. Melissa's gonna go hang out with her, and it was kind of funny. We're sitting downstairs, and she was like saying, talking to Kip, and we're sitting there, like in the middle of the conversation. She's like, drop some, expletives. We're like, what? She's like, my hearing aid battery just dropped, or just turned, just ran out. I was like, what? So yeah, my mom has this like, um, it's like a weird, it's like a syndrome. I don't know. It's like linked to her sinuses. Like I have the same kind of the same issue, but she has it much worse than I do, obviously. But like with like ringing in her ear or whatever, and unfortunately, she like loses. I guess she lost like mid range sound or whatever. Like it's harder for her to hear things because of like water in her ear or whatever, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, she has she has this ever going struggle with this hearing aid thing. She's like, she only uses it half the time. Like the battery runs out every day. It's like it's comedy for the family. But yeah, so that was our fun morning. So but yeah. Anyway, with that said, we had some interesting data this morning. Take it for what it's worth. I mean, the markets, seem to like it right off the bat. Um, you know, let's see. Hold on. There's a thing here. Still elevated that nonetheless indicate that price pressures could be easing. I don't agree with this. When you looked at, I kind of did this with the NAIA session. When you did this, you can see that if we look back again, like, you know, the point fives, the point fours, the point threes, those are kind of what the median is. Last May, May of last year was that point seven followed by the point five. There was a huge jump there, right? It was the big jump up there. I think that's why the data looks like the way it does. Like, I wouldn't be surprised next time if the data kind of skewed a little bit. What I'm really focusing on, I think that needs to be talked about is the month over month. I mean, it's still continuing to rise. Point three is point three. I mean, it has come down a little bit, right? Um, and again, there was a kind of a missed tick up, in December. We've started to raise interest rates. We know what's coming down the road. So, you know, it's one of those things. It's nice to say that, hey, it's working. It kind of is. It's kind of not. Before they claim victory. But overall, though, for the most part, this number it didn't go higher than the expectation. So good for the economy, bad for the dollar. And we're gonna see where it goes. As far as the overall markets, we're just seeing dollar weakness across the board, and again, 100% dollar weakness type scenario. Reason why is because again, the market kind of wanted more. We're at 40-year highs, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna do two more, and you know, it needs to happen. It's kind of like we either need to have a market crash or the Fed needs to go crazy with interest rates. So it's one of the two. And again, right now it is purely dollar weakness across the board. Major movers. I mean, the pound, pound's coming, clawing back a little bit, but nothing major. I mean, up. It's the pound has gained 29 pips on the euro, but pound yen 48, nothing big versus even the dollar 51, euro dollar 7. Not really much out there. Again, going into holiday weekend, so volume is going to be lower. Um, Personal growth and income and stuff like that as well. I mean, making less than what, the month-over-month personal income being down is not really kind of what we want to see. We'd like to see the other side, but spending is still there. I mean, we know he loved to spend money in the United States, and this is a double-double. They were spending more. And again, retail sales driving the number, which again, kind of goes back to, hey, if people are spending money, the economy's fine. Jack those interest rates to control inflation. So, um, Kip's going to be asleep in 5 minutes. He just kind of like put his head in the position of when he's going to go to sleep, and he's not holding a toy anymore. It's just sitting on his lap. So that'll be good. Um, so I don't know. All the signs here to me still look like we're probably headed in that direction. Like I said, they need cooling, and cooling never is a necessarily good thing here. Other things out there. I mean, the major mover today was oil, or actually natural gas, not so much oil. It's funny. I'd love, and this is like the type of stuff. Like this is why I dislike. I don't know. Is why I'm more of a big believer in kind of I I definitely fall on the side of give the states more power because they can handle things on a local level better versus one big overseeing thing. It's why I think that the euro is flawed by design from the very beginning, and we've seen the problems with the euro. Again, you can't create policy for 27 different nations. When there are certain tools and things out there that will help them, but you can't when they're part of one, right? This is kind of one of the goes back to that same kind of hypocritical thing. Russia's bad. We're going to block all oil, and then it's like, but we're going to let the pipelines through because we need the natural gas. It shows you it's just literally a political thing. It's like, well, we need the natural gas, so we're going to do that. But we're going to ban oil because oil is Russia's bad. If they were really that bad and you truly meant what you had said, you would block everything. But you realize that you can't. So again, it's all about headlines. The other one out there that Todd was kind of up in arms about today, this one, he's like, yep, look at this G7. They're going to put sanctions on OPEC. First off, never happened in a million years. I'm kind of like blown away that he would even say something like that. OPEC has a key role to play to ease the tight markets. It's not OPEC's fault. OPEC is looking at the global demand and the drive and what the orders and things like that are. Just because, and they said it, OPEC has said we will not get political. Okay. If you look at who the G7 nations are, right? I did it over here. It is Canada. Again, Canada doesn't really care. They like high oil prices. It's good for them. But France, Europe, Germany, Europe, Italy, Europe, Japan. Well, we know that Japan is a U.S. subsidy, right? We have the U.S. who is also anti, Russia, and then we have the UK, which is also part of the NATO alliance and also linked with Europe and also anti-Russia. So again, they want to drive politics into the free market, and OPEC is basically like, no, we're not going to allow it in there. We literally, China is our biggest driver, and with them locking down, no. So yeah, so I think this is great, but at the same time, this is the absolute most hypocritical thing in the world. Yeah, you need to open it up. No, I'm sorry, I don't like high oil prices, but again, politics and the free market should not be one and the same. And it goes on top of this one, and again, this is proof to it. I mean, OPEC, Middle East does not like us. That we even, I mean, Saudi Arabia, our closest ally, has already said we never had a conversation. That's a complete lie. So I mean, it just shows you worldwide. Again, we do have kind of, we look through things with jaded glasses in the United States, but China is expected to continue to act as a stabilizer for the global economy. At what point, when did this happen, right? That China is now the country that acts as a global stabilizer. Absolutely ridiculous, right? The atrocities that China commits, and we all know it, they do it in plain sight, right? They're actively still committing genocide to this day, and they are the global stabilizer. Yeah. And yet people are up in arms about this going, yep, they should put sanctions on OPEC. Like OPEC is just staying out of it, guys. They said it's a free market. If you want oil, this is the cost. If you don't want to buy certain oil, that's on you. And that's what's driving costs higher. So it's sad. And the fact that people are looking at this. And by the way, you guys know I love this for the comment, right? You know I love these for the comments. Oh, they've removed it. Oh, they removed it. Oh, no, wait, it's not this one. It was one of the other ones. It was this one, right? China's Wang Yi basically says that China has no information. Biden supposedly was going to have this call for us, right? And I guess Blinken made some speech that he said it shows that the U.S. has a desire to stop China's development. Again, U.S. making friends in all the right places, right? And I love the first comment, guys. This was it. No surprise that the U.S. doesn't want China's economic growth to eclipse that of Sleepy Joe's. So, yeah, I mean, we're kind of handing it to him at this point, but you got to love it, So that's kind of where we stand with everything. And again, I don't support high oil prices. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And my question is, if you really want to hurt Russia, is sending $60 billion that we know about. I'm sure there's been more than that sent across. What would it look like if we invested $60 billion into the alternative energy arena, right? What would it look like then? If we could literally just, if every car had a solar panel that could drive it and we didn't have the reliance upon oil, whether it be foreign or domestic, and doesn't that also meet the current, climate issue, right? But yet we don't want to do that. It's all about, hey, you should make it cheaper for us to use these fossil fuels. So again, quite hypocritical, the G7, and again, coming on the back of wherever it was, you know what, we're going to block Russian oil, but we want their natural gas. We need their natural gas. And by the way, if you want to sell us wheat, we'll take your wheat too, even though you're bad, right? It's called necessity. Leave the markets out of this. Politics is politics, so it is what it is. Um, I like this one. This is a funny story too. Todd told me about this one that the U.S. has confiscated 600,000 barrels of smuggled Iranian crude oil. Like, right? There's sanctions, right? And there's 600,000 barrels getting popped out, right? So I thought this is funny. I was like, what? And I was like, if you caught one, that means there's probably 10 that got through at this point. So, I was like, but hey, at this point, there's black market oil tankers now, because they get a gigantic ship, right? It's awesome. But everybody owes China money. They're the global landlord. Ernest, yeah, you're pretty much right, right? Yeah, I mean it's true. I mean China has played this game well. I mean I hate to say it. I mean obviously I'm a U.S. citizen, born, raised, everything here, and again it's again I do believe that you know as much as many problems they have, and again my wife is Chinese, right? My first wife, she's at one point in her career she was basically she worked for the government, and she's a Chinese linguist, an analyst. So definitely know a lot about the country. Again, some of the things they're doing are absolutely horrible. And again, it's all the more reason. Anytime we see a Chinese headline now, it's extremely important to look for trading opportunities inside of the Chinese headlines. Again, it now drives Chinese data now moves the Aussie dollar around. It moves the Aussie yen around. It moves gold and it moves silver for industrial purposes. So again, even more reason why when you guys are doing this, you need to make sure that you have China clicked in here. And at one point, we didn't check it because it didn't matter. It's now showing you that you need to make sure that you have on all these things. Make sure you have China clicked because their headlines now are moving the markets. So, yep. Anyway, besides that, holiday weekend, so nothing tomorrow, nothing Sunday, and then Monday has a bunch of small stuff, nothing crazy. Waller speaking. Let's see, where's Waller speaking Monday? The economic outlook and some thoughts for on a soft landing in Frankfurt. Again, I'm not really I don't know that Waller is kind of fully in touch with it. Um, China is going to be the key to the problems we see next year. We're producing next to nothing right now. Yeah, absolutely will. And that's the thing. Like we haven't even. We're talking about. I don't know if you I don't know if you guys all listen or not, but for the Nitix section today, I talked about Dollar General and Dollar Tree's earnings. They blew it out. They adjusted their forecast, and they said they're seeing like record selling and people coming in there, even buying things like food. And Target, Walmart said our inventories are getting bigger, 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 bigger. We're not producing anything, and we haven't even seen with China locking down. We haven't even seen the repercussions of that. I forget which. Yeah, I think it was Bernard yesterday. Again, she's not considered a major market person now as much, but last night she was talking about chips and basically our future in microchips and microprocessors. That we are so reliant upon the East over there to produce them. We don't have the best relations with them. They could cut us off from technology and severely cripple us. So we are so reliant upon everybody else in the world. And again, China is a major mover in that market, and we're not playing nice. They are not allies of ours. They are the exact opposite of what allies would be. So, yeah, we have a lot of exposure. So, yeah, most likely facing global rice shortage. Yep, next year. Yep. Yeah, it's wheat and supposedly rice as well. I heard both, right? And again, that's the whole reason why India has blocked exports. So food, again, it's not just food too, right? It's seeds, actual grain, and fertilizer. Those are the three you don't realize. You don't think like where's fertilizer come from? Yeah, it comes from that area, right? So those are major things coming. I mean, again, I don't even think the worst is here yet, right? And imagine this, we'll throw it on top, right? What happens when COVID, because again, COVID will mutate again. What happens if it takes a crappy roll and mutates back into something like the original, like the Delta or one of the other first variants that were a little bit more of an issue, right? Omicron's ability to get past the vaccine, and again, Pfizer's data, right? I don't know if you guys saw this as well. This came out 2 days ago. Pfizer has put their application in for kids. The data they put in was only talking about symptomatic COVID in kids, not just COVID in general, but symptomatic COVID. We already know that kids had such a low symptomatic rate of COVID, right? It was such a low, 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 low rate. And they're like, look at this, it lowered the symptomatic rate of it. They're starting to cherry pick the data now to get things through. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's still a lot out there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we come up with world peace, and I don't know something comes out. But she's been allowing for a month. They are allowing farmers to leave their villages to go to the fields. Yep. Yeah. Will lockdown means lockdown. Yep. Yep. And there's nothing we can do about it. So it's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Anyway, VIX is down. Right. VIX is down 2.7% as it absolutely should be. And again, the reason why The data's out. There's no unknowns now. We know everything. Not. I don't want to say. Sorry. Let me take that back. We don't know everything, but at this point, we know all the data we're going to get for this week. We know that the comments that came out of the Fed earlier in the week were on par with what we saw for PCE. There was no surprise, increase that we didn't already expect. So the market's got it all factored in. People are going to be heading out. I already got traffic outside when my mother was on the way over here today to pick up Melissa. She said the road is already back. So I live, if you guys didn't know, I live in Annapolis, Maryland. All of Maryland has to drive through Annapolis and go over our bridge to get to the Bay Bridge, to get to, the shore, beach, whatever you want to call it, right? There's already traffic all the way backed up already, and it's not. It's not even 9 o'clock. It's not even 10 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, this is a huge weekend. So volume obviously lighter. Again, people would have traded early, and the people that are going are already on the way. Now, dollar, even with that news, I mean, again, pulled up, and then it was kind of like dollar news came out and just continued to tank. And again, it is technically weak data, right? You know, assuming that they've got all the problems fixed, it's kind of like, really, that's all we're going to raise the dollar? That's it. We're not going to raise it any more than that. That's obviously what's bringing the dollar back down again. Let's bring this back up to 30. A little easier to see. And again, right now, natural gas down 650. Again, it just that hope. Anyway, here's where we have with the Aussie right now, right? So we talked about a level. It was kind of in between two big areas, and you can see it kind of early morning or late last night rallied into it, and it hit it and it bounced, and then hit it again and bounced again, and then hit it and bounced again, and finally broke through. We had talked about it. It had been tested, but it wasn't the first time. From where the original level was, we really had one, two, technically three hits already, right? So this is technically hit number 4. And I said, if you're really looking for something, great, but that's why it's in yellow. So we've gone through it right now. I will say we can kind of use some of this data and basically say, all right, well, listen, we know we got a basing level right here. We know we have a confirmed base there, right? And again, that came in right at the European Open. And again, if you were looking to trade this this morning, there's your 3 o'clock candle. Again, 3 o'clock candle in a pullback. Gotta love it. Off to the races. You're probably done right now. But where does it stop? So, as far as this one goes, it's already kind of gotten so close to the 78. Not concerned about the 78 anymore, so we can remove fibs in that direction. Looking to the left, you can see there's a few areas over here. There's probably something hiding in this area right here. And again, this may be where we end out the week. Otherwise, I'd probably shoot much higher. And again, this is a zone that I'm going to keep yellow because it did have one hit. It kind of hit 2, and then at 3 based and 4, and it's kind of broken a little bit. I would say the next two major areas of selling in this one, yeah, the baby's out, is here. So these are the next two major areas. We'll put this one as far as a stop. You can see we got a little bit of room for both of these, right? We're going to pull one here. We're going to pull one here. And then we're going to put one here, but we're going to turn this one yellow. And again, this is more for next week than anything else. But right now, that's what we got. Now, is it going to go straight up today? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, today's data was considered dollar week. It's got 55 pips. Going to do that today? Absolutely. Are we going to have a time for it to go up 50 and turn and roll? Probably not. And again, this is going to be one of those ones that's going to kind of take more of a euro. I'm sorry, not a euro, an Aussie-based flare, because we are closed on Monday. Australia is not closed on Monday. So, we're going to see kind of where it rolls. So right now, we're going to start drawing fibs from the other direction. And I would say, based off of this, I mean, we kind of had really sideways movement and lower highs. This is kind of really where it started, right? So we're going to draw it from this point forward just to kind of check potential areas. And you can see the takeoff point is at the 50. So again, is it going to move that much today? That would be 70 pips. If it does that, there's some major headline out there. And again, we probably don't want to get involved with it. But we do know we have a level of basing and a takeoff point right there, which again is right behind the 50. And again, maybe this one gets front run a little bit. But I would say for right now, that would be the area I'd be looking for. I will say this level here, it is a base, it is a pullback, and there's a bit of a racetrack. There probably is a short position here if it gets back to there, or not really if, but when it gets back to there. 1 to 3 up would be right there. Again, little bit below the 50, a little bit below where I would put an actual profit target, but I think that's one of those trades where, based off this formation, this is kind of I'll put an alert here, but this is more probably a next week thing, and this will expire anyway. But sorry, I was trying to use 2 hands, and then the baby almost fell out of my lap. There we go. So yeah, again, look for this one to push up. I think it's too late at this point to really start playing into this rally, but I do think it continues to grind up probably day and probably Sunday. All right, so we talked about having confirmed levels up here in the Aussie dollar. I'm sorry, the Aussie yen. Again, it was a zone we were kind of looking for it more as a target. Again, we've hit it twice and had a nice response. It has just hit it now. It's up at 91, so it's a psychological lever, right? Um, oops, sorry. I moved and I was like, oh god, I'm gonna drop the baby. There we go. There. So, is it a time to get into the trade? It's not bad. It's not horrible. But like I said, right now, this is purely going to be a yen-based play. The Australian market is closed. The Aussie dollar, it's not really at a point, so we're not going to get too much from the proxy. So this is purely going to be a yen-based play. Again, a little bit more risky being a holiday weekend on a Friday if you wanted to get into it. The risk level on there is about 20 pips, which for me is a lot, particularly on a Friday. Means we have to move 60 in the other direction. 60 is kind of a lot asking on a holiday weekend, but there are sellers there. And again, if we wanted to refine this a little bit, um, probably refine it up to that level, right? Which again, we almost got up to it, which is doesn't change too much. It's 91.03, so it's kind of there. Eh, it's all right. I don't know if I would. I don't know. Being a Friday, you guys know my opinion on Friday trading, particularly Friday holiday trading. You know, so if it reverses off there, great. I'm not going to take credit for taking that one short, but that was the area we talked about yesterday. Kind of almost hoping we just kind of, I'm hoping we just kind of go sideways here. I mean, if it doesn't break it, if it opens there Sunday night, obviously the Aussie yen will have its own data next week, so I could see that potentially turning and rolling next week. But on a Friday, I don't like it as much. Now, euro pound, again, we just literally pulled back down. Again, we talked about this level, and again, we really had our 1, our 2. It hit a 3 and then based in it again. We got close, right? So we can remove this. We ended up going through it, and we talked about 84.18, and that's kind of what we bounced off of. It broke through, and again, that's where the buyers came in. So, could you be in this trade now? Sure, sure. But I don't know that we're going to be able to get this one to full fruition at this point. The 1 to 3 target would be there. Yeah, it'd be all the way up there. So it's not before the opposing zone, but again, 10 o'clock. They got about 2 hours left in their market. We'll see if we can get that much farther up. All right. If anything, I would say that this one was probably just a failed target, right? We missed the entry. I guess there could have been an. Let's see. Hold on. This was 10:30 yesterday. End of the day, so probably not. Probably would not have gotten into that one. So yeah, I mean, there is a base, there is a time, there is a piece right here, but it'd be like 5 o'clock. I don't know. Euro yen or euro pound is not really not the what I would call the golden window, golden arrow, right? Um, yeah, you could have taken it short, but we were looking for 85.36, so didn't quite get what we wanted. And there's a little sellers there, so I mean it was a legit area, but at 5 p.m. would not have been looking at this one. So, but yeah, anyway, you're up about 1 to 1 on this one if you got into it from yesterday. Euro yen also took the reversal. We mentioned it yesterday. 11 o'clock, it tagged it, kind of hit it again. I did roll off of it, so again, it was your own call if you wanted to be aggressive on it or not. It did go. It's 1 to 3 all the way down. It kind of. Let me see. Did that pull a 50? I'm curious. Did that pull it? Yeah, it did. Yeah, it came back and again, this is a set. I was not in this one, but if you were looking for one, yeah, you could have played that one. It was a 50% retracement, kind of at 8 o'clock. Um, I would say on this one, here's the trade up top. European session open in that 30-minute confirmed window, right? There's kind of here's stage one. 1 to 3 is right there. And if you wanted to take the reversal from the low to high, there's your basing level. There's your explosion. There's your 50% retracement. And you could have gone here. And 1 to 3 is right there. There you go. And it's out. It just went above. So 2 easy runs on that one. I haven't followed this one. Unfortunately, I did not get into this one in the overnight, but one day I'll be able to trade the opens again. But today was not my day. Yeah. So again, it's in the same exact place it was yesterday afternoon. So not a lot of overall movement. But again, two decent trade setups in there had you been watching it. Again, off that one level we talked about, 136.62. Euro dollar. So we were looking for a short out of this one. We were talking about, again, where the area was. It ended up punching through late last night. Again, we did not get the entry. We had the alert go off, but unfortunately it went higher and then kind of put that base in here, and the red, green, red came in much lower over here. It broke, it went down, but unfortunately this would have had to have been up here, right? The base here, the push down, and then the pull back up again. So there was a short position. Unfortunately, our original zone was a little bit too aggressive. We needed to use the higher zone, the newer formation of it. So again, would have taken a stop on that one. We can delete this now. Let's pull this one off. We'll pull this off for next week. I don't need it now. It's good. Let's move this and pull this up top. Do I want? Let's see. Pull that off. Let's see. So, looks like we got something small right here. How much is this? This may be too big. 15, 16. Not horrible. There we go. Funny thing is, if you do high to low, it did not trigger the 50, but it's close enough proximity that that little base right there could have gotten you in. So let's pull these around for next week. This here. All right. So, man, this one's super tempting. I actually do like this. I like the fact that it's around the 50. I wish it would have gone just a little bit higher, right? Something along these lines right here. Again, particularly at 10:30. This would have been a nice little grab. But I'm wondering if we're getting front run on it right now. I hate to say it, but I feel like we're going to get front run on this one. It is 10:02, so it's a little bit early. But I think either of those two levels, again, this is kind of the more near term. And really, this one has already had its entry at 3 o'clock this morning. Here is there's your 3 o'clock candle. And it pulled back and then right down. There's so many opportunities at 3 o'clock in the morning. I just can't do the 3 o'clock and take care of the baby. It's just too much. Just too much. Yeah, I have a feeling this one's not going to go. Close. But again, I keep 107.74. What was it? Yeah, 107.74. Keep that on your radar. I think that's a pretty decent level. Again, it is embedded with a bigger high to low 50%, so you'll have additional algorithm traders stepping in there. There is some basing right before it, which is nice. And again, we do know we have a level when we look back. You can see that we had a level here where we dropped and we really kind of based, and then boom, we took off. I mean, I guess we could shrink it a little bit, but it's in such close proximity to the 50%. You can see there's not much there. Um, I think that's a decent level. I just adjusted it a little bit. So yeah, 107.75. So it's in a quarter position. So not bad. These are those ones you like. You kind of like, yeah. Pound yen. So pound yen, we talked about the top and bottom of this one. We talked about 160.50 being a psychological level. You can see we hit it, dropped, hit it, dropped, hit it, dropped, hit it, dropped, and we just hit it again. And it's kind of back in that same dropping pattern. I talked about this more for like scalping reasons. It's really sideways. I mean, it's moved 0.1. In 24 hours, it's 49. So it's a third of an ATR at this point. So just not moving a ton right now. And again, there's no data to really drive it. So kind of one of those things. It's like, what do you do with it, right? There's just no drivers. It's a holiday weekend, man. I mean, we got 2 hours to go for the pound. I don't even think there was any pound like small data today, was there? Let's see. Where is it? Yeah, there was. Oh, that's Monday. Yeah, Friday. There's nothing even today. So let's see if this is 11. For the least 8 package, but an unfriendly outlook on energy prices means he's likely to face pressure to act again next year. The one-off payments and discounts announced on Thursday are aimed at reducing the impact of unprecedented energy prices this year. That will see the average UK go. Yeah, again, it's called inflation. Um, yeah, yeah. Still barring the dramatic turnaround in the energy markets over the coming months. Yeah, so not surprising. Um, yeah, I mean, when you create the perfect storm, you get the perfect bread, and that's exactly what's happening. So, yeah, again, I would say on this one right now, it is a level. Are we going to have enough movement today? Are we going to better run it enough? Probably not. We marked it off as a level, and again, it's a 30 pip zone. We're not going to get 90 pips to the downside today unless there's something earth shattering. We really don't want to go into a holiday weekend on a Friday hoping for the bell curve, right? You know, we're not, you can't go in, oh my God, please say the island's sinking, right? We can't, you're not going to get one of those today, most likely. You can't bank a trade on that one. So again, at this point, wait for it to kind of roll top and bottom. Again, with no U.S. influence, this is one that we could potentially trade on Sunday night, and we can even probably shrink this level a bit. Um, there's probably a case here for a Sunday night trade. If you guys are looking for a Sunday night trade, right in this area. And the reason why is it was a decent base. There's not much over here, so it was a new base, and it does have a confirmation there, and that's at 106.84. I'm going to turn this one orange just so it's a different color than we normally see. Actually, let's do. Um, Oops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted orange and red. No, you guys can't see that for anything. What if I do red and orange or red and yellow? There you go. Red and yellow. You guys should be able to see that one. 106.85. It is an area where if we gap into it, it could be the opportunity to take a little bit of a short on Sunday. Again, no U.S. influence, so you're not really going to have the Japan aspect of it there. But again, all the comments that we've heard thus far is Japan's weak, Japan weak, and then it keeps getting strength. So could be an opportunity. But as far as this area for scalping, yeah, there's some scalps off of it that mentioned yesterday, but nothing, no 3-to-1s. It would have been at all very much smaller time frame stuff. Um, there you go. So yesterday we talked about this one. Let's see. Here's our alert from yesterday. Was it yesterday? I don't even have it up right now. Where the heck is my thing? Don't switch. I did get an alert. Was it this one? No, it was the euro. The pound came in. Let's see. We missed it, and then when we based here, that should have taken us out. Oh, you know what? We didn't re-trigger this one. This was not. We don't have a thing. So yeah, this one was not re-enabled from this miss. So it was from yesterday morning, and that's it. I'll just take it off because I do not have euro Aussie. Yeah, this one did not trigger. Okay, it's fine. That was from here. Right now, I would say I'm probably more bearish this position. I do think we will get some dollar strength coming back in just to retrace. Let's see, how many touches do we have? We had the one there. I guess 2. This would have been 3 that it based on. So yeah, it was calling for a break. So we can pull it off now. We don't need it. Let's yank it. Again, this was the trade, right? The alert triggered, but it didn't trigger the actual piece of it. So let's see. Absolutely don't care about the 23.6. The 50. The zone on the 50 is unfortunately more at the 61.8. You can see that it came back through and it kind of grabbed this, but here's the test, right? The test is more sitting down here at the 61.8, but it's pushed it pretty deep in. So, I'd be a little bit more hesitant with that one. I still feel like this one, again, this is down at the 78.6, which I don't like. I feel like that's better. This is not really giving us much, and it's in European session-based hours. Care about that. Jinjin, what's wrong? Okay, come here. I can hear her crying. I may have to go in a second, guys. I hear her crying in the other room, and she's like, my back hurts. It's like, okay, why's your back hurt? She's at that age where a butterfly moves, and it's like, okay, all right. So the level we're coming up to, this 126. I was trying to see if there's going to be any big levels in there. As you can see, there was a little bit of a bounce off the 23. And again, the fact that we do have some sellers in there sitting right here. What's wrong, Jinjin? What, your play turned off? Okay. Oh, your back itches? All right, here, I'll itch it. I'll itch it. It's okay. Here, go sit in your bed over there, okay? Hold on, let me can you get over there? You can do it. You can climb over there. There you go. There. All right. Yeah. 4-year-old girls. Yeah. So I do think this is a decent level if you guys are looking for something. Like I said, it's kind of pushing up. I'd go a little bit higher. Look at the 126.71 level. Again, I do think there will be a bit of a reversal today on obviously some dollar strength coming back in. It's been dollar weakness all night. So look for something in there. And again, with the U.S. close on Monday, we have the ability for some pound news to come out. Not that there's ton, but you never know what's going to happen. Like I said, with the U.S. being closed, there will be no headlines, which is good, right? No news is good news, tends to be. And again, that can roll us back down where the pound market is open and we are not. Dollar CAD. Now, dollar CAD is driving down. And again, you're seeing that oil is up 18%. It's back up at 114. So we're seeing strength come in. And again, this is a combination of dollar weakness as well as CAD strength. We talked about this level, and this is a great example here. We had the original level, and you can see we kind of had 1, 2, and 3. And you could arguably say there was your 4. And then once it started to go here, you're like, oh, it's just chopping the level up. And it did. It dropped, it pulled back, and is now continuing to push lower. So, again, as far as CAD goes, we'll clean some of this up. I'm just going into next week. I really need to kind of update this chart. This is one we've been kind of following, but not really. I need to kind of move some stuff around. At this point, I don't need this. We are officially way past the 78. Let's pull it down. There is a level at the 50 right here that is actually decent. But I'm wondering if we take a bounce off of this. So this is what I'm curious. So this is a level we had marked off. It held, but it literally pushed it to the very, very end. We are at the brink of collapsing on that one. So that's what I'm curious to see if we have the ability to get through. And again, with it being 1030, do we take a reversal off this level? So this level got all of its hits in. Pull this out. I'm curious if this is what it looks like from now. Now we've already hit it, kind of bounce once, but we're really approaching the time when we should see the reversal coming in. Uh-oh, what is Melissa saying? Let's see how much risk is in that. 19 pips. It's a little bit big, but actually wouldn't be horrible. If we suck this back up to 128, that would help out a little bit. So if you're looking for something, as I said, you guys know the risk in this one. But dollar CAD is in a position where it's a tested level, but it was really, really pushed. Let's see, can we shrink that at all? Probably to there. We can shrink it a little bit, just a little bit. Brings the 1 to 3 down to here, which gives us about 14 pips worth of risk now. So it's a little bit less. Again, if we bring this down, that makes a lot more sense. Because look, the 23.6 now, I don't know if you saw that. When I move that from its low right now to the bottom of the zone, look at the 23.6 level, right? The 23.6 level literally now is sitting right at 128. So that kind of makes sense of where you want to put it. Style. Can we make this like a darker green? There we go. Just to see it a little bit better. All right, dollar Swiss. Again, just continuing with the dollar weakness, right? Dollar weakness until next week. Maybe we get something. What do we got here for Swiss? Non-farm. Yeah, these are Swiss non-farm numbers. Mm, Got off. Hold on. Chop through. This short is done. I don't need this. Let's pull this down right now. That went up. That trade is out. That I don't need. Let's pull that all the way over. Look at that. When I did that, 23.6 just popped into that level we had drawn. So it looks like our next major area for selling would be, I'm going to leave this on there, would be here. 96.62. Right. All Right. So what do we got here? Looks like we have a Harry Potter trade set up here. Some buying there. But we also know that 95 is sitting there. So there we go. We're going to move that across. All right. So for right now, again, there's not any buyers in the way right now for this one to reverse. I think we just, again, if we continue to see this, dollar deterioration right now, look for this to come down. A break at 95.23 brings us down to really the 95 level. The target on that one's a little bit over. But if we start to get in that close proximity at like 95.12 ish, we should be getting pulled right into that 95 level. 95 is a big number for the dollar Swiss. So, but yeah, we've pulled back from above parity all the way back down again. So again, showing some weakness. Dollar yen. So dollar yen, we were hoping for it to go up and get the news today and then have it driven back down again. All it did was literally consolidate. Look, we're here and here. So we are literally consolidating in, and yeah, not doing much. So dollar yen, kind of boring right now. Again, we're still in the same areas. Our hope for this one to rally and then turn and roll, um, just going sideways. So yeah, I think 128.06 is still important to watch. This lower level here, I mean, we've already kind of hit it arguably twice. Again, I like this one for a roll. I don't know that we're gonna have time today for this one to go in, but if you guys are looking for something, again, I wouldn't hold this one over the weekend just because it is a long weekend for us. But 126.60, if we open back up again, we may be able to turn and kind of bounce off this one. So not bad, right? It's not a bad level on a purely technical basis. I just don't trust or believe in holding things over the weekend. Right? If you're in a position, shut it down, protect yourself against adverse risk. And then if you like it when it opens back up, go back into the same trade if you still like it. There's no harm for that, right? No harm, no foul. Like, why take the gap risk when you don't need to, right? I mean, I don't think there's, you could say, well, what if it goes in your favor? Okay, great. What if it goes against you? I mean, if it goes in your favor and you potentially get more out of the trade than you thought, right? That's called greed. If you're banking it off of that happening, that shows you that you're greedy. What you should be thinking is, okay, but what happens if it goes really, really bad against me? It gaps past my stop loss. They don't fill you at your stop loss. They fill you where it opens. That's how you lose an entire account. All your capital is gone. So again, if you want to take that risk, you're just not going to last long as a trader. So again, not something I'd be willing to hold over the weekend. If we can stop over here and we do open up on Sunday night and we're kind of sitting in that area, definitely could be an area we take a weekend or a weekend play and look for an bounce. Let's see, we'll be right here. Look for that to go back up again. So, and again, I'm okay with that. I think that's again, I do think we're going to see continued dollar weakness, and I do think dollar strength is going to come back in the market. So I'm good with that. Bitcoin not doing much. Right, big push down, big push up. We're literally stuck at the same spot, right at that 29,000. Yesterday we were just under 29,000. Not looking great. Bernard talked last night about currencies. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? 19 hours ago. Great. Can't see it there. Can I go far enough back here? She was talking about it, and it's amazing in less than 24 hours. I saw it last night, but in less than 24 here we go. You know, I see a potential for digital dollar as being complementary to a more efficient system that would include stablecoins, right? Fragmentation of payment systems. See, I don't fully understand why we would need stablecoins if we do have a digital dollar, but hey, whatever. Don't know. I mean, if all the stable coins are pegged to the dollar, but we have a digital dollar, yeah. I'm not, again, I don't claim to be the crypto expert. I like charts. I'll trade my charts. I just don't see it here. And again, when she talked before, it used to be a big deal, but you know, this was the original thing. Um, examining the benefits or risks of a U.S. central digital bank currency. I'll tell you right now, I can tell you what the risks are. The risk is China right now is writing the policy for digital currencies. They already have an active one in play, and everybody's looking to China for a direction. And we're examining the benefits and risks of it. And that is why China is now the stabilizer of growth in the world, because we have sat on our hands and done nothing. But no decision has been made whether a U.S. central digital currency will be part of the future. That is why China is taking over, because everybody will have a digital currency, and we're over here saying we don't know if we're going to use one or not. How can you be the leader and the stabilizer if you have look? There's been an explosive growth in the emergent digital financial system. Yeah, Yeah, great job. Wonderful appointment. And look, she's already looking old. Look, they're already finding great pictures of her. The recent turmoil in the crypto financial market makes clear that the actions we take now, whether on a regulatory framework or a digital dollar, should be robust. Yeah, yeah. And the reason why it's been so crazy is because again, there are things with the current methods, right? People like the blockchain. They love the digital aspect of it. If we can turn the dollar into a digital form where you can get, again, interest for holding it, there's no reason to go Bitcoin or any of the cryptos, right? Absolutely zero reasons. So if the dollar is using all the same technology, but great. Thanks for the again further confirmation that we are falling farther and farther behind. Ethereum, again, it's up a little bit, point 0.9 or point 0.1. So again, it's the same thing. Dogecoin at least is up, again at 1%. This is the one that will go eventually to zero because there's no cap on how much you can produce because it was created as a joke. But I know James holds it, so that's why I keep bringing it up. That like, hey, listen, I'm rooting for James. I want it to go higher. This gets him Dairy Queen money, right? Pretty soon they're going to start charging James. You guys know how James loves his cart, right? He loves his scooter. He goes to Walmart and Target just to ride the scooters, right? Yeah, they're going to start charging James if Doji doesn't come back up again. So we're bulldozers while the rest of the world is Porsches. Who do you think will make? Yeah, Ernest, I love that analogy, my friend. I love it. Yeah, we're a bulldozer while the rest of the world's a Porsche. Do you think we'll make better, faster moves? Yeah, I think it's great. And again, it's kind of like the tortoise and the hare, right? Unfortunately, I don't feel like the tortoise wins this one. I feel like in the environment that we're in now with like instant transparency and again, talking about a digital realm that is meant for speed. Yeah, we're like the battleship that's trying to turn around versus the rowboat. Yeah. And it's not that we can't do it, it's that we don't want to. That's the sad thing. That we can be innovative leaders in everything in the world, right? But yet something like this, it's like, no, no, don't understand this one. Sorry, can't do it. Can't do it. Nope. Nope. So, yeah, it makes no sense, right? How do you be a world leader? You can't be a world leader from the back, unfortunately. So, and if all the market, if all the money in there doesn't, like I said, countries are starting to use it. Like I said, I mean, if once everything goes digital, I don't feel that it necessarily is. It's not needed. I don't know. Maybe the old, in all honesty, the one that I think would actually matter in the future, and I hate to say this, right? Because I despise Facebook. I've refused to ever call it Meta. But the whole Metacoin thing, I do feel like I do think that Ready Player One movie is kind of like a foreshadow of what the future looks like. Like like you see like the Jetsons and you see like 2000 Leagues Under the Sea and like Star Trek. Like a lot of the innovations that they use here is what we use now. Like cell phones are like the old comlinks, right? I do feel Ready Player One is what the future is going to be like, right? I don't know. I don't know if meta is going to be the thing, but I do feel that world will exist eventually, where it's like you don't have pain, you can be anybody you want, and I do feel that there will be eventually a currency for it. Um, I don't think it'll be kind of the same, but that's about the only one. If you could figure out is Meta going to be the actual like if large corporations finally, I think that's the one that matters. I don't think Bitcoin will be in there. It's too established with the old banking system, the people that that created it and funded it and stuff like that. But I do feel eventually that's where we will go, and I'm cool with that. You know, I can you know I can be whatever I want to be, right? I can be like a talking you know warthog, right? And it would be totally cool, right? So, yep, yep, yep. All right, let's go over commodities realm. So, commodities. We had this target up yesterday, and it's funny. When we were talking about it, we were sitting down over here at like 112. We're like, yeah, if this thing bursts forward, the next area where sellers are stepping in is 114.75. It's a quarterly based number, and what did it do? It came up and it tagged it at 12:30 because again, Uncle Warren was listening, and it hit it again and it hit it again, and it's hit a few times, and we've pulled back again, but I think it's a good spot. The 114.75. Again, all the commodities right now, I just don't really have you know, there are areas where I just don't, you know, for fundamental reasons, I don't believe that there's a lot of reason why um, to go short, right? Like I said, when I say they, right, the EU wants to block Russian oil because they think that that's everything, but they want the natural gas, and I think the chances of Russia saying, "Oh, you don't want one? Well, you can't have anything then," right? Is higher than what a lot of people are giving it credit for, and you know. If that's the case, if they're trying to ban Russian oil and they don't want Russian oil anywhere in the world, I mean, I'm telling you right now, this is the argument that I had with Todd. I'm like, listen, you can't, seven nations that are in NATO can't tell a free country what they can do, you know, um, especially when that other free country doesn't like us. You can say, I'm not going to buy oil at $113 a barrel. We want only U.S. approved oil. You're going to pay a higher price for that. It's going to jack the prices up. And meanwhile, the people that we're losing out to are going to get oil cheap. 'Cause it's like, hey, listen, we'll take that Russian oil. Russia says, I want to sell it. I'll give it to you cheap. Right? We have this, this is what it's going to cost. If there's the US approved oil and it's, this is like premium, right? You can buy premium gas or you can buy the stuff that most, the 87 for, 60 cents cheaper, That's people are going to, do it. So again, fundamentally, I don't like a lot of these shorts. Again, it was an area and it literally bounced right off that area. I think eventually it starts to grind through, and any big headlines, I think we have the ability to pop higher. So, right now we are stabilized a bit more again with the U.S. market being closed. I will say, and I meant to bring this up earlier too. I apologize. So when we were talking about Dollar General and everything like that, they said it's mixed news, but it's not mixed news. So basically, they were saying it was mixed news that more people are spending money at Dollar General and Dollar Tree, and that again, that comes from the warnings that Walmart and Target are now becoming too expensive for people. But what they said is it's conflicting data because more people are going to the airlines. Yes, because nobody wants to drive with the gas prices. They're looking at airline flights and tickets as being a cheaper alternative than driving your car. That is why airlines and travel places are going more, right? You fly to a boat, you get on the boat, and then all your expenses are paid, right? That is cheaper than saying, well, it's $6 a gallon now. Is it going to be $7 or $8 a gallon by the time we go on the family vacation? How much more is that going to cost us, right? Versus flying. And why they haven't brought that up, I have no idea. But I know that I know a couple people that have done that. They typically road trip. Actually, the boys go to Michigan every year. They were going to drive, but they're like, we're not paying that prices. We'll just fly. If we have to pay that much, we'll just fly. It's easier. So that's why they're changing their plans. Now, natural gas is taking a big hit. All right. And again, a lot of this is the expectation, and we already covered it before. Basically, the whole process over here is saying we're going to block them, but not natural gas. We kind of need it. In this whole statement, again, Russia says you're going to pay me, you're going to pay us in rubles, or we're not going to send it at all. So it's nice that they're saying this, that they think that Russia is that on the hook, but you know that you know it is what it is. They could literally say, no, you're not. You don't want one, you can't have either. I know I got it. The pipelines are there, but you've already shut down some of our pipelines and everything else. So what the heck? So, but right now, the hope that it's there is good. I do think it will probably come down a bit more today. It is a big deal, right? I think 8 is a target. It's not anywhere where I'd want to. After this move, you're not looking to short it, but it is a big kind of push higher. Running fibs off of it just to get kind of a view of it, right? If you're going top to bottom, oops, you can see to where its peak was. It blew through the 50 like it didn't exist. I mean, the 50 was the first hit, and then it was like, boom, and just slashed through it. The 71.8, there's nothing there. So, I mean, really, the 78 and 60, there's nothing there, so you can't really use it in that direction. If you go back in the other direction, you can see that if you go down, the 23.6 did nothing. It literally chopped through. It did give us a base. The old base is what did it. Right now, though, if this is truly the bottom, there is actually the 50 is cutting right through that confirmed level. And again, this is a level we talked about in the past, but 884 or 885, it's actually 885. If I don't do this, it'll drive me nuts. There we go. Right? 885 could be an area where we see something next week. If we slowly grind back over the weekend and then we get some headlines that this is an official thing, it's not just a proposal that it's official, that actually could be a short opportunity for tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week. So again, take it for what it's worth. It's too late to short it now, but if we rally back up again, particularly over the weekend, there is a 50% retracement off the most recent high down to the low. If this is truly the low at 850, at an area was basing, that it's confirmed that used to be an old area of sellers in the past and then became buyers. A lot of reasons why you like that zone. Um, I've always driven if I can, more convenient flying. You probably still have to rent a car at your destination. I mean, yeah, Ernest, it depends where you go. I mean, at Disney, right? They'll start ringing your credit card when you get on the plane, but they will gladly bring you up there and then give you the tram card back and forth, so you could spend even more money, right? And waste your grandkids, college money, right? So, right? It's not a problem for those guys, right? Yeah, it depends. I mean, I think when they're talking about travel places, they're also they're like talking more cruises, like the cruise lines are coming back again. They're seeing growth, and again, during COVID, who the heck wants to get on a cruise ship when you can't, you know, Yeah, standing in your room, you're within 6 feet of people. They're on the other side of the wall, but still. Now they're seeing cruises and airlines and stuff like that. But I agree. I always prefer to fly. Or I'm sorry, I prefer to drive. But something for like a cross country trip, though, a little bit different. But like for the boys going to Michigan, actually they go up kind of where Sean is, right? They're in northern Michigan, but not up in the Upper Peninsula. They can drive it. I think it's like 16 hours. You don't want to drive it. It's not the most fun, but it's possible. And then you have a car and stuff like that. You don't have to rent it. And it's all your own stuff, right? But it comes down to the point where it's like, and because flying's not easy, right, for them, because they have to fly to Traverse City and then, or they have to fly to Detroit and then go to Traverse City, or fly to Chicago and then Traverse City, smaller airport. So yet there is still more time involved with it, but not 16 hours worth, but it still could be obnoxious. So anyway, 850. I'm sorry, $8.85. Now gold. Gold is choppy. It's ugly. Again, we had the basing level. We had one, two. Actually, we had the touch over here, but 1, 2, 3 didn't break. 4 went through it, popped over, and it's still in the same exact area. Um, I think gold again has plenty of ability to go higher. I would say we don't have much confirmed until up top. You may say, well, wait a second. Why is with PCE inflation? Yeah, it's pulling back a little bit. It did what it was supposed to do. I mean, there was no shock, right? Big movement comes when the market is not priced in. This priced in exactly how the market saw. So I would say right now, again, I think it's still a weaker stance by the Fed. I would rather interest rates go higher than crash the economy. I work for myself, so I don't have to worry about getting laid off or anything like that. Nor does my wife. So neither of us has any worries about that. But just overall, I can't tell you for people that are older, when they see their 401ks and their retirement accounts, get cut in half in recessions. It is extremely, it is extremely hard on them. Most people don't know how to deal with that. So I think there's enough suffering going on already. So I'd kind of like to avoid that. It's like raise the interest rates now, like go for it. I'd rather see that than an absolutely huge market crash. But I do believe we are overdue for a bit more. So yeah, I think that's why I was a big proponent of start early and slow it down before it got out of hand, because then more drastic activity is confirmed. So yeah, and silver doing the same exact thing. It's coming back down to the 22. You can see we're back at 22.16. We were at 22 what 45. Yeah, it's pulling back into that same kind of channel. And again, you can see we had the bottom, the top, the bottom, the top, the bottom, top, bottom, top. Started to kind of come in a little bit. And we raised the channel a little bit higher. 8:30 this morning, the news came out. I was like, wah wah wah. Right? It almost kind of told us, hey, wait a second, we're going to rally it, rally it, rally it before news. And then when the news came out, literally the top green candle is at 8. There's your 8:30 candle right there, and started to roll back down to 22. So that's where it's moving. Let's check out the indices. Let's see. Look at that. VIX down 5.78%. Again, the unknown is there. We already know it. Dollars down 0.14. So all the indices are exactly the same. Yep. All did the same thing. Um, and again, it's kind of like the market's new. There is your overnight basing. There's your 8:30 news candle right there. And what did it do? It drove in before news. It tagged the news and took off. So there's your long. And there's your 1 to 3, and you were done and out. Okay. This should have been your trade for the day, and you'd be like, yep, done for the day. I'm out. I'll see you next week. So again, not the opening 15-minute, but it's the news strategy. When news, something like PCE happens and you're already in a trade, you obviously can't trade it. If you really wanted to do the 15-minute trade, I mean, it did pull back from 9 to 9:30, and then 9:30 was the start of the continued rally, right? It literally pulled back to continue what had already started with the 8:30 news. And 100%, this is justified. Um, this is exactly what it should have done. We talked about it yesterday. Again, using the overnight basing. Again, you had plenty of opportunity to go in. There's your base. There's your bottom. Off to the races. You're well past your 1 to 3. Okay, so again, count that as a 1 to 1. NQ happened to do the same exact thing. Here's the 8:30 bottom. It came and tested it, pulled up, and then just dropped. Again, here is your overnight basing level. Okay, so again, it didn't quite tag it, but again, if you're using Nadex, you were looking to go long this one anyway. Same result. We do know, and again, I can pull this level. Actually, that's where we're at right now, so we'll leave that. Not a fresh level. It's been hit a few times. We actually got one a little bit above as well. We talked about a profit target there. Question is, can we break through this? Right? Can we break through this level? And again, I like this level better. This is, again, this one's been hit a few times, so we're gonna remove. We'll turn it yellow. The reason I want to turn it yellow is I may use that to the downside, right? I can remove this yellow right now. We're going to leave that. I'm going to leave this here. I can remove some of these. We don't need these. These are the traps and the overnights. That now. There's our long. There's our short from last week. We're going to leave this on because we're using it on this side. All right. That to there. I got to delete a bunch of stuff on this one. Actually, that 50 is not going to be a problem. Actually, a lot of these things are going to be problems. Yeah, I'm not worried about a lot of these. Let's take this off. Let's see. This one hit a bunch of times, so it's not necessarily the cleanest of levels. Actually, that one pushed to the brink too. I'm going to draw a fib from there, though. We kind of established a new trend and then kind of broke through the top, so we're going to use that one. So slice through the 58. I'm trying to see if there's anything that coincided, but not so much. No, then there's two there. And we're through the 50 now. So nope. Nope. No major confirmation levels. So yeah, I'd say 12, 6, 29. Right? 12, 6, 29. So again, could have gotten long. Again, if you're waiting for a limit order to come and touch the zone, this one missed by a little bit. Same reaction though, but for Nadex it was probably close. Overnight we bounce off the 32,600, right? We take the overnight pullback, and again, it did pull back a little bit, but once it formed the base, we were looking to go long on it. There's your overnight base. Right, actually established over there. Your 8:30 candle is here. Is right there. This one doesn't look like it actually made it all the way. Let's see. Oh, it did. Oh no, it didn't. One of three is right there. So this one is not quite out yet. So again, ES is the best. And YM again, YM is always a weird one just because it is so linked with manufacturing. So not necessarily, it's not a total surprise. It's not like a total shock for me or anything. Of what could have happened, right? Or what did happen. Let's see. Funny if I extend this across again. With this one it would not have been another short. I mean, we've hit it. There's 3 touches of it right here. But look at this. You can see that it did base in there and it pulled back again and then hit it again and pulled back and then finally took off. So funny how that old level is actually the same thing. So it looks like these are our zones up top. That's an old one. I'll delete that. Again, not super fresh. It's hit it a bunch of different times in there, but just the potential area, it's kind of right where it's at now. So that was a good one. Let's pull that. And trap. And trap on that. So yeah. So again, this one is not out. ES is done. NQ, it went. It just didn't. We didn't get as clean of an entry as we would have liked. Let's see. Hold on. 1 sec. Not out on this one yet. So entry stopped at break even at this point, looking for a push. But again, at 10:30, this may be the top for the morning. And then Russell. Yeah, Russell did the same thing. 8:30 is right there. Again, we talked about this being. It's actually almost the same level. Look how close that is. Right. Again, stopped at noon and then just kind of baselined, did nothing. Formed its overnight base, pulled back. 8:30 is right here. There's your 8:30 window. Yep, 8:30 is the green right there that came and touched. Let's see if this one would have completed. Yep, that one's out. So 2 out of what? 3 out of the 4. 3 out of the 4 triggered. 1 didn't trigger but moved full. 2 have hit their full completion of a 1 to 3, and one of them is about 75% of the way there. So take it for what it's worth. But again, those are our news-based trading strategies. It disqualified the 15-minute open, but again, on the 15-minute, it did everything it was supposed to do. Pulled back, and again, pretty easy. Pulled back into a zone, the overnight basing level, right? Obviously, that's where the base is. As our launch point, that establishes our risk, and boom, off to the races. So, not bad. All right, let's just kind of scroll through this. Not doing much. Apple having a good day. Tesla also rising above, and it finally look at it based in there and broke higher. So, yeah. All right, so let's see what we got going here. It is Neuro's third day. I did count. Sometimes I can do the counting the three thing. With that said, Neuro's going in quite heavy today. Who are we missing? We're missing somebody today. Debbie, Marina, Will. Oh, Sean's not here. Sean's probably partying it up. Yeah, where Sean is, this is a big weekend for them. It's like finally nice. So Sean's probably living it up today. So no Sean today. So Neuro's going to try to get it cheap. Again, let's see. Ernest is like, oh, I'm going to try to give him a run today. I'm going to try to give it a run. Debbie's like, yeah, I'm going to put up some resistance. So let's see. It's Sean can't go above 10. So it's 10, 11, 12, 13. So the odds, although they're under 50%, so it is less than a coin flip for Neuro. If there's a winner, the odds are still in his favor by a little bit. But if you stack all this into Ernest, then Ernest has a better chance of winning today. So let's see if Neuro can get his 250 today, or again, if we have a a changing of the guard. All right. No, you can. Sean can't go above 10. No, Neuro can't go above 10. Anybody can go to 10. You can go to 10. 10's the maximum tickets. I put a cap on there, so basically the big blind cannot just buy it every single time, right? It's capped at 10. That's the most. So everybody gets one free, and then it's 10 pip chips after. So at most, you spend 90 pip chips to get 10 tickets, right? So, all right, here we go. Look at this. It's heating up. Ernest is like, yeah, I'm going to throw it in, man. This is a holiday weekend. I'm feeling lucky, right? 50-50 chance between those two guys. And look at this. We got the extra stack in it. So this is like roulette, guys. Yeah, don't be dropping a limit on Sean. No. So this is like roulette, right? Where it's black and red, and then they throw the green squares in, right? So Marina, Will, you guys are the green numbers, the zeros and the double zeros, that stack the odds in the house's favor, is what you guys are. So all right, let's see. Can Neuro take it? Can Ernest play spoiler today? Or is Eki gonna win with one ticket? Winner of today's drawing is Neuro. Neuro took it. Wow. You had a 38% chance of winning, so wow. Ernest loses, I win. Look at that, man. Man, target competition is heating up. Heating up. Let's see where this puts Neuro. I'm telling you, Neuro. Oh, wait a second. I got to ask this one. So, all right, Jin. All right, I'm done. So look at this. Within 200 pips, is Ernest big numbers? Does that mean Ernest is pro Debbie? Or is this is like the election, right? Is Ernest today pro Debbie, or is Ernest anti Nero? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is like the election. Did you vote for Trump or against Hillary? Did you vote for Biden or against Trump? Shh, Digit, it's okay. Come here. I don't know what you just said, but I have to go figure it out. All right. Shh, shh, shh. All right, guys. I'm out of here. You guys have a great and safe holiday weekend. Like I said, watch yourself today. It will start to dry up. Again, you guys know how it is with the holiday weekends, but go out there, be safe. Cook some meat, not seafood. I just looked. Inflation on seafood is up 18.9%. Meat is supposedly only up 5.6%, but I think they've passed that down, and it's like 100% at my stores because it's definitely almost double what it was before. But yeah, a surprise. So anyway, be safe. If you guys need me, shoot me a message on Discord. If not, we will touch base, and I will catch you guys on Tuesday. Take care. Love you all, and I'll catch you then.